Welcome to 9 Influential African American Bahá'ís in the U.S., a documentary that explores the lives and contributions of some remarkable individuals who embrace the Bahá'í Faith, a religion that teaches the oneness of humanity, the equality of all races, and the harmony of science and religion.
Our first story is about Dr. Ronald McNair, a NASA astronaut and physicist who became the second African American in space in 1984. He was also a talented musician, a martial arts champion, and a pioneer of laser physics. He died tragically in the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster in 1986, but his legacy lives on in the many scholarships, schools, and awards named after him. He was a devoted Baha'i who saw his scientific and spiritual pursuits as complementary and inspired many with his courage and vision.
Next, we meet Robert Turner, the first African American to become a Baha'i in 1898. He was the butler of Phoebe Hearst, a wealthy philanthropist who sponsored the first group of American Baha'is to visit the son of the founder of the Bahá'í Faith, Abdu'l-Baha, in Palestine. Turner joined them on this historic pilgrimage and had the honor of meeting Abdu'l-Baha, who praised him for his humility and service. Turner later became a prominent teacher and leader of the Baha'i community in California and beyond.
Our third profile is of Dr. Alain Locke, a philosopher, educator, and writer who is widely regarded as the dean of the Harlem Renaissance. He was the first African American Rhodes Scholar and the first to earn a PhD in philosophy from Harvard. He edited influential anthologies of African American literature and art, such as The New Negro and The Negro in Art. He also wrote extensively on cultural pluralism, democracy, and human rights. He became a Baha'i in 1918 and integrated the Baha'i principles of racial unity and world citizenship into his work.
Next, we turn to Dizzy Gillespie, a world-renowned jazz trumpeter, composer, and bandleader who revolutionized the genre with his innovative style of bebop. He was also one of the first to introduce Afro-Cuban jazz to the American audience, blending African and Latin rhythms with jazz. He became a Baha'i in 1968 and used his music as a tool for social change and spiritual upliftings. He performed at numerous concerts and events to promote the Baha'i message of peace and harmony among all people.
Our fifth story is about Louis Gregory, a lawyer and civil rights activist who became a Baha'i in 1909. He dedicated his life to spreading the Baha'i teachings of racial equality and justice throughout the U.S. and abroad. He faced many challenges and hardships, including discrimination, imprisonment, and violence, but he never gave up his mission. He was instrumental in establishing Baha'i communities in the South, as well as in Haiti and South America. He also served on the national governing body of the Baha'is of the U.S. and Canada for many years.
Next, we meet Bahi Randall Winkler, a dancer, choreographer, and educator who became a Baha'i in 1946. She was the founder and director of the Randall Winkler Dance Company, which performed at various venues, including the United Nations and the Baha'i World Congress. She also taught dance at several universities and colleges, such as Howard University and Spelman College. She was known for her artistic excellence and her promotion of cultural diversity and social justice through dance.
Our seventh profile is of Robert Hayden, a poet and professor who became a Baha'i in 1943. He was the first African American to be appointed as consultant in poetry to the Library of Congress, a position now known as the U.S. Poet Laureate. He wrote many poems that explored the themes of African American history, culture, and identity, as well as the Baha'i vision of universal peace and justice. Some of his most famous poems include Middle Passage, Frederick Douglass, and Those Winter Sunday.
Our eighth story is about Elsie Austin, a lawyer, a diplomat, and a pioneer of the Bahá'í Faith in Africa. She was the first African American woman to graduate from the University of Cincinnati School of Law in 1930 and the first African American woman to serve as Assistant Attorney General for the state of Ohio in 1937. She became a Baha'i in 1934 and served on the national governing body of the Baha'is of the U.S. for 7 years. She also wrote a biography of Louis Gregory, another prominent African American Baha'i, titled Above All Barriers.
Our final profile is of Ruha Benjamin, a sociologist and professor who is a current member of the Bahá'í Faith. She is an expert on the social dimensions of science, technology, and medicine, especially the issues of race, justice, and power. She is the author of several books, such as Race After Technology, Abolitionist Tools for the New Jim Code and Viral Justice, How We Grow the World We Want. She is also a public speaker and educator who engages diverse audiences on the topics of innovation, equity, and social change.
These are just 9 of the many influential African American Baha'is who have made significant contributions to the fields of science, art, education, law, and religion. They are examples of how the Baha'i Faith inspires its followers to work for the betterment of the world and the unity of humankind. Thank you for watching this documentary, and we hope you learned something new and interesting.